Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Broady. Another day trying to make it work. You already know what it is. This is my story, the Broady Experience, Part 2. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in, fucking with your boy, listening to me, because you're getting a more of an understanding of who I am and why it is I do what I do. Today, I want to talk about the stresses and pains that I had to go through watching my mother suffer. I had to watch my mother suffer a good majority of the time. Whether that was her suffering because she wasn't feeling well and was having pains and aches and there was nothing I could do about it, whether or not it was her being in dialysis and going through the pains of having to do the dialysis, whether or not it was pain from her not being able to walk for a time, you know what I'm saying, and me ending up having to prepare myself to be not just the child, the only child in the family, but also to be the man of the house. These are things that really happened in my life. I really had to take care of my mother in certain instances because she couldn't take care of herself. I had to call the police, not the police, but my grandmother, who was a secretary in Philadelphia's hospital, Lankenau, who I had to call her multiple times to drive from Philadelphia all the way to Jersey to pick my mother up because she was, in a sense, let's say, unresponsive. She's in so much pain that there's nothing that it is that I can do to help her. There's nothing that it is that she can do to help herself. But, my family is from Philadelphia. All of them are mostly born and raised from Philadelphia. So because of that, they know that Philadelphia hospitals are a lot more equipped than Jersey hospitals. And I would have to call my family members, like I said, from Philly, and they would drive down to Jersey, where I live now, and pick my mom up and take her up to Philly so that she would be able to, get treatment. A big majority of the reason why they did that was because my mother had been sick her entire life. So because she had been sick her entire life, the doctors that were in Lankenau Hospital had a very genuine connection with my mother. The nurses had a very genuine connection with my mother because she had been there over the years. So because of that, it was only right for her to go to Philadelphia to get checked up because they had all her medical records. They knew her. She's been there, so they used to do that, take her, go up there, somebody stay with me, while I'm at the house, you know what I'm saying? And then, I spent a good time of my life in hospitals and or at my family member's house because my mother was in the hospital, waiting for her to return. You know what I'm saying? Basically just waiting for her to return, waiting for her to gain enough strength for them to help her out in enough ways to be able to build her up so that she'd be able to come back home. This is the life that I lived through her relationships. You know what I'm saying? Her being hurt and having these pains and going through these problems, but also having men in her life that were not right. These men were not all of them. I can't say all of them because some of them were good men that I really wish it did work out with them. I actually see some of these men around town in Vineland sometimes, and I would have wished that or hoped that they would have been the person that would have made my mother, turn my mother into an honest woman. And the reason being is because that's what my mother wanted the most before she passed away. The thing that she wanted the most was to be a wife. She wanted a man to love her. She wanted a man to accept her. She wanted a man to build with her. And in her search for that, she picked up a lot of the wrong motherfuckers. She picked up a lot of the wrong men, niggas getting out of jail and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that, females always trying to fix a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Females always thinking that they can, oh man, he was bad back then, but he can change, you know what I'm saying? And that's not wrong. It's not like it can't happen. It's not like it's not the truth. But at the end of the day, a majority of us, we are who we are, and we're not going to change. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can't change. It's like we're stubborn, and change seems like too much of a bad thing when it really can be a good thing. But yeah, her going through these relationships, and it was a lot of different situations where I'm a kid, so these people are not my father. These people are not anything to me but her man or whatever like that. But she wanted them to be that so bad, like I said, make her into an honest woman, that sometimes these people kind of became my father, you know what I'm saying, and my stepfather, you know what I'm saying, in the sense where they had the control and or authority over me, which was never a good thing, you know what I'm saying, which was never a good thing, to have someone who is not a father or is not the mother have any kind of control over your child. You know what I mean? One person in particular, pain that I went through with my mother, you know what I mean, being sick and just, picking men that just were not, up to the task of being real men. There was a man named Sean. I don't remember his last name, but I do remember his face if I ever see him in this world again. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I wanted to kill him. Be honest, you know what I'm saying? Be honest. I wanted to take his life. Real shit. The only reason is because when my mother had gone to the hospital, I believe this might have been the last time that my mother came home. She had been with this man, Sean, for, a while, on and off, different things like that. And she had to go to the hospital one night. She had to go to the hospital. Like I said, routine. This is routine. You know what I'm saying? Call the people up in Philly, let them know what's going on, have them drive down and pick her up. I'm a kid, so I'm crying, I'm upset, I'm unhappy. And, you know what I mean? She ends up going up to Philly, and he's left there with me, and, he gets the game on, we got the PlayStation or whatever like that. So I start playing the game and I start feeling better, and he starts making me feel better and shit like that. So I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm all right. You know what I mean? My mom's gone, but I'm a child, so I'm easily distracted. So now I'm okay now. I woke up that next morning to him on the phone with my mother in the hospital, telling her that I did not love her. Telling her that as soon as she left, that I had started to feel better and that I was happy, and that I actually did not love her or care for her. That I was not that I was not a good son. That I was not a son that she should be proud of, or a son that she should be happy to be, have brought into this world. He told my mother that I did not love her, that I did not care for her, and that my demeanor changed as soon as she left. But I am a child. My demeanor, your demeanor is always going to change. It's always going to fluctuate as a child, especially if people can distract you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they can distract you from the thing that is making you upset, that's making you cry, that's making you feel some type of way and feel vulnerable. If they can distract you from that, as a child, you're going to switch your entire demeanor and focus in on that distraction. When I heard him, I tucked myself in the background, you know what I'm saying? I let him say everything that he wanted to say to my mother. You know what I mean? I let him say everything. He hung up the phone, and when he hung up the phone, he went into the back room, and I immediately got on the phone. I immediately called that number back that he had just called my mom and told her, I said, he's a fucking liar. I said, he's a liar. I heard exactly what he said. He said that I do not love you. I do not care about you. And I told her straight up, I love you. I care about you. You're my mother. Why wouldn't I love you? Why wouldn't I? And she told me, she said, Matt, don't worry about what he said. I know you love me. I know you care about me. Don't worry about that. Don't take that in. Don't make that, the see all be all. Your mother is on the phone and I'm telling you, I know you love me. I know you care about me. I broke down. You know what I'm saying? I broke down and, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. I broke down, you know what I'm saying? And she just told me it's going to be okay, you know what I mean? And that she loved me and that she knew that I cared and not to worry, that everything was going to be okay. Reality is that everything ended up not being okay. That was the last time that my mother would actually, that was the last time that my mother actually ever stepped foot back into the house. Yeah, the last time that my mother ever stepped foot back in the house was that situation. And, you know what I mean? But that's another day. That's another day. But I appreciate everybody's time. That's my story for today, the Broady experience. Going through heartache, pain, when it came to my mother and, trying to, unpack those things and become a better person and create a better lifestyle, a better understanding of myself, because I had the example of what a great woman is. But that example was taken away from me way early, you know what I'm saying, before I could really, understand and or develop my mind to really, to really talk to my mother, to really engage with her in the way that I would have loved to. But either way, like I said, and I'll continue to say that she's going to continue to be in my heart, spirit, thoughts, and she's going to help guide me because that's my guardian angel forever and always. But you already know what it is. Another day trying to make it work. Thank you for listening. Y'all be safe. Have a great day. Peace.